Hi, everybody. Well, I don't usually do this, but today I think people are interested in it. I'll tell you why I don't usually do this, but we're going to go and take a look at, the March 25th lunar eclipse and the impact that it might have on all of us by sign. And I will explain why I don't necessarily love these, but it's still a little bit fun. Oh, say hi to Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
No, you are Danielle. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Yeah, there we are. Okay, you need to go play. I'm doing a class right now, girl. Okay. Oh, I'll go back. Go check out my website if you haven't, allydoesatclasses.com. It will change your life. Everything that I do here on YouTube is very fun, but the point is everything that's going on at allydoesatclasses.com. The foundational sessions are free. Everything that I have like 120 products and 100 of them are available by donation. So you just like pick your price point and it's a way to basically like cut your need for therapy down by a significant amount with a very affordable, in a very affordable way. But okay, let's talk about the signs in the heavens. Okay, these are just some scriptures from the Bible because I know a lot of people can get all tripped up about, you know, the stars and the Bible because they say, oh, the Bible says astrology is so evil. I think that there's a big semantic issue that's happening here because a lot of people don't even know what astrology is and how it is or is not different from what this is, Okay, so these are some scriptures. Psalms 19, 1 through 2 says, the heavens declare the glory of God, the firmament shows his handiwork, day into day, the stars utter speech, and night into night show knowledge. And then it goes on to say that their line is gone out through all the earth and their words to the end of the world, which is really interesting. Their words, the words of the stars, that is literally what astrology means. Astro is stars, logos is words, astrology is reading the words of the stars. And I think in the modern age, of course, there's all these like newspaper horoscopes, that's what I hate. And that's why I kind of like hate videos like the one like this one, because I feel like it kind of oversimplifies things. And that's why I am framing it in this way, because I think it can be helpful to go sign by sign, but it has to be vague. When you're doing kind of the newspaper horoscope version that 10,000 people are going to see or read, you can't be as specific as you can when you actually see somebody's actual personal chart. Um, but the Bible is clear that the stars are showing knowledge and words. If you're searching for those words, then you are practicing astrology, whether you call it that or not. You can call it astronomy, but you're actually an astrologer. But you can tell yourself it's astronomy. Okay, so here's some other references. But I'm on a little bit of a timer. Oh, that's yucky. Come on, man. Okay, so the stars are significant both generally and personally. So the stars reflect everything that's going on the earth all the time. They're significant for us as large groups, and they're significant to us as individuals. Jesus had a star point to his birth. I just did that a recent video on Kate Middleton and the royal family, and it's kind of interesting. So many prominent people are born on or die on eclipses. There's like all these ties to astrological and astronomical movement and people's actual lives. But every single person has their own unique configuration of stars that is specific to them individually. And that configuration is significant to you for the rest of your life. Okay, so that's what's called the natal chart. It's the chart of the stars that's taken from the moment that you take your first breath. This just came out 2 days ago. Okay. Although it may come out further than that when I actually post this, but they found that the gravitational pull that Mars exerts on the Earth may be strong enough to impact ocean currents. Hey, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? No, I'm not getting her off. Give me 1 minute. The study suggests that Mars can cause deep sea currents to change over this massive cycle. But the fact is that the gravitational pull of Mars is affecting the Earth. Okay, so on a science level, my understanding is that this is exactly how this mirror works between our bodies and the movement of the stars. We're experiencing a gravitational pull from all of these giant planetary bodies, these heavenly bodies, right? So the ones that are going to be the closest to us and the most impactful are going to be like the biggest ones and the closest ones. That's going to be like the sun, the moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury. And then as they, get further and further away, the effects can be more and more subtle. But I think when people get very, very skeptical of all of this, it's because they are not very aware of the incredible impact that gravitational pull exerts on all of our bodies. So if you're familiar with parasites, they all mate based on the lunar cycle. And I don't know, like the moon is clearly impacting all the water on the earth, including the water in your own bodies. Like we are like 70% water. Our internal water is all being affected by the different pull of all of these different planets. And in my opinion, that is why when you are born under the influence of these certain stars, I think that's why people are kind of set to experience their lives in a certain way. And it has to do with this gravitational pull and the pull on the inside of us. It's affecting the flow of fluid in our brains. It's affecting the flow of fluid in our hearts. It's affecting the flow of fluid in our guts, which is why medical astrology can be very helpful. I'm not great at it myself. I haven't spent an enormous amount of time studying it, but a really good medical astrologer can pull up your chart and tell you all sorts of things about your physical body based on the movement of the planets. And okay, so this is the why of why it works, in my opinion. I think that we are experiencing pulls from these planets that we just don't know enough about to really quantify. I don't know that we have the instrumentation possible to scientifically quantify this at this time, but we may in the future. And then I'm thinking of a really great book that I cannot remember the name of. Oh my gosh. I'll have to go downstairs to my big library and find it. But it's about these different cycles of planetary movement, but then also like how it impacts like the economy and all kinds of things, because there are many economists, maybe not many, but there are economists that have found that certain astrological conjunctions do impact the markets, and people study this. As JP Morgan once said, millionaires don't need astrologers, but billionaires do. People that actually understand this impact that the planets have on people, you can really use that to improve your own life in a lot of different ways. But okay, let's talk about you. How might the lunar eclipse on March 25th impact you? Okay, we're going to go sign by sign. And so I'm going to recommend, before going through this, that you get your free natal chart done. I recommend using illuxology.com right there. That's run by Naomi Fox Reyna, who is one of my close friends. I love her so much. And she's also a Christian who studies these things. So she is what I would consider a safe space to learn about this stuff. So she has a thing where you can like run your free chart. It's not a software that I use. And it runs on a little bit of different calculations than I personally use. So that free software, like if you get your chart done there and then you come and like were to hire me or whatever, I'm not taking personal clients right this minute, but if I were, my chart for you would be slightly different, and it comes down to these different calculations. Every astrologer uses a different kind of calculation. And I feel cool about that. I've had my chart read by a bunch of different people that use different calculations, and they're all accurate in like different ways. And it just depends on what the person is looking for and what they feel like is important. And it all comes down to our individual connections with our creator and deciding what is important through that lens. I hope that makes sense. Like in my own readings, I always am like, okay, God, what is the important thing that to talk about from this chart? And the people that I go to are the same, but we're all going to see different things because we're different people and we're seeing through a different lens, like on the chart. Like if I'm reading a chart, you're going to get a chart from a lunar eclipse baby, Virgo and Pisces, and if you go to one of my good friends is a Libra, and Libra is obsessed with fairness, and she only reads an equal chart, which mine are not equal anyway. Okay, as we go through sign by sign, once you get your free natal chart, you're going to look at your sun, which is gonna look like sun. You're gonna see the moon, This looks like a little crescent moon. And then the rising sign is the arrow that's pointing to the left on your chart. And it will have a little list so you can like see the words and you don't have to like look at the glyphs and make sense of them. But anything going on in your big three, the sun, moon, and rising, um, those things are really going to be more significantly impacted by this upcoming lunar eclipse. So we have to go a little bit vaguely because that's what it is. But I'm going to go through these 12 signs so you can kind of like zip around if you must. But okay, if you have big three stuff in Aries, that's kind of a big deal. Okay, this lunar eclipse is taking place with the full moon in Libra, which is exactly opposite Aries. The sun is in Aries for this lunar eclipse. So if you have any of your big three in Aries, this is going to shine a light on your one-on-one relationships and what needs to change within them. What dynamics need to shift within your marriage, your friendships, your relationships with other people in your life? This eclipse is probably going to be the most impactful for people with a lot of Aries and a lot of Libra placements. Taurus is not one of the signs most heavily impacted by this eclipse. However, the South Node will be activating Jupiter in Taurus during this eclipse. So if you have some big three placements in Taurus, be on the lookout for how your relationships in life are interacting with and impacting your sense of stability and financial expansion. Okay, so if you have big stuff in Taurus, how are your relationships in your life impacting your money? How are they impacting your sense of safety and your sense that things are stable the way that you like them to be stable? Some big questions for you are going to be, what relationships do you need to prune and trim? And how are the dark sides of your relationships going to crop up and impact your financial stability? So if you have a bunch of stuff in Taurus, definitely just have a little part of your brain thinking about the impact between your stability and especially your financial stability and your relationships. If you have any big three placements in Gemini, this eclipse will invite you to look at where you need to reset your relationships, especially with peers and with siblings. Where do you need to refocus on the basics? Where have you gotten so swept up in keeping the peace that you've forgotten your most basic values? These are questions that may show up for you as we approach this lunar eclipse. Gemini will be trining that full moon in Libra, so you can expect to have some big feelings brought up to the surface to help you find clarity on what to let go of so that you can move confidently into your future. You may have a giant spotlight shining on the places in your life where you are crippled by indecision. Cancer. Cancer energy will be triggering during this eclipse because it is square to the Aries Libra axis. That means that it's at a 90-degree angle from all the fun. And so when things are at a 90-degree angle from anything else, it indicates a lot of tension. Cancer energy is very in tune with home and family. And so with this eclipse, if you have any of your big three in Cancer, be sure to pay attention to where you are forced to choose between your priorities and your family's priorities. You will probably be invited to get much clearer on your boundaries, especially within your own home, and especially around who you share your intuitive insights with. Leo. Leo energy will be trining the sun in Aries during this lunar eclipse, which means that there's going to be a big flow of energy there. If you have any of your big three placements in Leo, you might expect to really have to take a look at yourself. Leo energy really wants to shine and be appreciated for what it brings to the table. And Aries energy is all about you. Aries energy is like the most basic, like it's like the energy of like your basic personality. Not to say that you are an Aries, but where Aries is in your chart, it's going to be like the personality of your earliest childhood, if that makes any sense. With this eclipse in Libra, people with strong Leo placements may have situations organically arise that help you gain clarity on where you have not been appreciated and where you need to assert yourself a little more. I'm going to take a break from my presentation here and say that 2 years ago, my solar return, when my birthday, when the sun went back to where it was when I was born, in that chart for the year, I had a Leo rising and I was so excited. I thought, yes, I'm going to shine. I get to be myself. I get to be appreciated for who I am. And that is like totally not what happened. That Leo energy definitely triggered, but what it did was it really shined a light on what in me I needed to heal and change. And it was that was the year that I got pneumonia, and it was very hard and awful. And anyway, Leo energy, it wants to shine, but if you're not shining, it's because there is something inside of you that needs some serious attention. Virgo, yeah. Big three placements in Virgo are out of the direct line of drama with the eclipse, but they will still have some serious opportunities to look at where they have overstretched themselves for others. Virgo energy is very oriented to service and can sometimes get so caught up in caregiving that they lose sight of themselves. This eclipse will naturally bring up opportunities for people with a lot of Virgo to see clearly where you need to let go of overexertion for others and focus instead on healthy self-care. Libra. Oh, my Libra friends, if you have the sun, moon, or rising in Libra, you are the star of the show with this full moon eclipse in Libra on March 25th. This is a big deal for you. Anything that anything that anyone has in Libra is going to have the opportunity to make some huge shifts. Situations are going to flow up for you that invite you to let go of anything in your life that is not serving you. So basically for Libra, it's a little bit of an all-purpose cleanse of your little soul. Anything that's ready to go, anything that you need to go, things are going to show up for you to help you reset your whole life, anything in your life that needs to be reset. You don't have to make plans to reset your life. You can try if you want, but things are going to naturally show up for you. And they're going to help you find clarity on where you're out of alignment with your own self and with our creator. You're going to be invited to make things right. And this is a powerful, powerful time to co-create your future with our creator. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio is out of the direct line of drama, but Scorpio naturally deals with deep relationships. So if you have prominent Scorpio placement, this eclipse is going to shine a clear light on you for showing you where the relationships are that need to shift so you can be more protected. Scorpio does not naturally like put on a show for other people and pretend to be stuff that it's not. But to the extent that you are doing that, this eclipse is probably going to bring up situations that disturb your false front and make you get really clear and really honest about where you're not being clear and honest with your own self. Sagittarius. As a fire sign, your big three energy here is going to be more activated by this eclipse. What have you not been exploring because of other people? Where have you been hesitant to try something new? This eclipse may shine a light on what indecisions you need to let go of so you can move forward, and it may also drive you to take some steps forward in letting something go so you can explore more confidently. This may involve actual literal travel to new geographical locations or mental, emotional, spiritual travel where you're just more open to considering ideas that you had never considered before. Capricorn. Capricorn energy is across from Cancer energy and creates another 90-degree square with Aries and Libra. So if you have a bunch of Capricorn, you may experience some tension with this eclipse. The big questions to ask are, where have you been compromising your ideals of excellence to keep the peace? Where have you been sacrificing things with your career or your reputation to protect others, but maybe it's time to shift that dynamic a little? This eclipse may invite you to let go of some old patterns in how you interact with people to make room for more of the projects you are planning to tackle in the future. This can be a powerful time to find clarity in moving forward if you have been dealing with indecision. Aquarius. Aquarius energy will be trining that Libra energy where the moon is. So this may bring up some big stuff for you to process and make sense of in your relationships with others. Aquarius can have a hard time because its thought patterns are often not easily understood by other people. Aquarius is kind of famously an out-of-the-box thinker and feeler. So if you have prominent Aquarius and have felt a lot of shame or rejection in your relationships with other people in the past, this eclipse may help you let go of any remaining fixation or concern about that. You do not need to carry that with you. This eclipse will support you in moving forward in confidence no matter what other people may think or say. And finally, Pisces. This eclipse is going to invite people with big 3 Pisces placements to feel safe taking action for self-care. Pisces energy can easily get lost in concern about other people, and it can struggle with boundaries. This eclipse is going to invite things to show up in your life to highlight your boundaries issues so that you can heal them. If you start feeling taken advantage of and like your tender heart and soul are not being appreciated for how you sacrifice for others, the situations that crop up over the next month are here to invite you to slow down your selfless service and focus on how you are caring for yourself. So this is a question one of my friends sent me the other day. If you could live in your loved one's body for a year, how would you treat that loved one's body? How could you treat your own self with the same care that you would show for another? And so in this like little thing that she sent me, the idea was like, if you could trade bodies with your husband for a year, like, would you hit the gym? Like, would you eat right to help your husband's body heal and get strong and healthy? Well, if you would do that, for him, like, can you do it for you? Right? Like, if you could trade bodies with someone that you love and you would take really good care of that body, like, can you take that same kind of good care of you? Whoa. But we're looking at a total month of impact with this lunar eclipse. And it's already started with the new moon that happened on March 10th. And then it's going to build up to the total solar eclipse on April the 8th. So as we approach that big eclipse, just keep an eye on how these different themes may be affecting you. So again, go to illuxology.com for a free natal chart. Naomi has a great email list. And then AllieDoesAtClasses.com is my site. If you sign up for the foundational sessions, you get on my email list, and those foundational sessions will totally change your whole life. So if you now that we've done all of this, if you're, in my little team on Facebook and everything, and you're like working hard to take the most advantage as you can of this energy that's happening, that's affecting all of us. Again, it has to do with this like gravitational pull. I'm going to share my website super quick. This is my website. I'm logged in as an admin. It's me. But this is the foundational sessions where you can start up. This is the fancy membership where for like $29 a month or something, you get access to 75 sessions that can totally change your life. And then these are like a bunch of the sessions. But today I was going to recommend, I think, the focus session, which is designed to help address focus dysregulation like ADHD and brain fog, but it's also just going to help you get a lot clearer on anything in your whole life. This focus session is going to help you get more focused. So definitely going to recommend that. While we're here, if you have feet problems, definitely try this one. Financial stuff, I'll give you the secret. If you do like 10 other sessions, this one will just magically unlock in your account because I set it up that way to reward you for doing the work. So just do other things, let that unlock. Forgiveness work is going to be good. I'll probably recommend that on a different day, but today, focus on focus. I think that would bless your life. Okay, thanks for playing along, guys. I hope that you have a fabulous day. I hope this was a little bit educational and entertaining for you, and I will see you tomorrow.